Kennedy Space Center, Florida.
Well, let's speak to former International Space Station Commander Leroy Chiao. Leroy, it's always great to have you on the show. And just give me a bit of an idea now, if you can, with your vast experience of how those astronauts must be feeling as the clock ticks on.
Well, they're a little bit excited, but they're also relaxed. You know, the quarantine period is a time when you're finally kind of, have some time to yourself. You've been training for a long time. And I kind of talk about some of these things. I've got a book coming out called Dinner with an Astronaut. And so hopefully if folks are interested in astronaut stories, they can take a look at that. But, they're excited, but they're not nervous. They're ready for this. They've been training for a number of years. And they're just looking forward to going out to the suit-up room and getting into their pressure suits and going out to the launch pad.
Tell me a little bit about timings. When are we going to know this is going to actually happen and things are going to move forward? I know that even in the last moment, it could be aborted, but when will things start moving forward at full throttle?
Well, sure. You're going to see tanking start pretty soon, where they start filling the propellant tanks with liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. There'll be, engineers will be monitoring everything to make sure there are no glitches that crop up. And if there are, they'll be working those and trying to keep on the countdown clock. Weather forecast is looking good, so hopefully that will hold. Florida weather, you never know. But it's all looking very positive right now, and I'm confident we're going to see a launch tonight. So
what does it actually feel like to launch in something of that enormity?
It might
and
surprise
power?
you, but it might surprise you, but I think what a lot of us feel at ignition is actually excitement, of course, but also relief. It's you've been training and working for this for so long, and you've been waiting for this moment of actually getting to launch into space. And once those solid rocket boosters light, there's no turning them off, and so you're gonna get your shot to get up there. It's actually a bit of a relief.
Tell me a little bit about the Artemis mission. It's the first crewed Artemis mission. How much of the unknown is there, do you think, about this mission going forward? I know this is the beginning of what should be a whole series of Artemis missions, but where do you think we are now in terms of what we know going forward?
The main purpose of this mission is to really give a good shakedown to the Orion capsule. This is the first time it will be flying with astronauts on board, so the life support system is going to be, pushed. Thermal control system, communications, as was pointed out, they're going to fly farther from the Earth than any humans so far. And so the communication system is going to be tested, make sure that it's going to work. And, they're going to swing around the moon and basically show that Orion can take astronauts into deeper space and come back. The biggest thing we're going to be testing is the heat shield. On Artemis 1, which had no crew on board, it came back from a similar mission 3.5 years ago, and engineers were shocked that the heat shield sustained a lot more damage than they expected. Had there been a crew aboard, they would have survived, it would have been fine, but NASA, of course, likes to have margins. So they changed certain things. They've been working on this for 3.5 years, and they believe they have their arms around the issues. They've redesigned the reentry trajectory, and so they want to see if everything they've done works out, and they've solved this heat shield problem. But a lot of things to test, and that's why we fly these missions before we take that big step and land.
We do indeed. And why does this mission matter, Leroy, in terms of the bigger picture of space exploration?
Well, symbolically, it's very important. I mean, this is the first time since 1972 we've sent humans out of low Earth orbit, and we had to kind of relearn how to do all that, just like we're going to have to kind of relearn how to land on the moon, right? So this is significant step too, because frankly, this exploration program, in one form or another, has been going on for 22 years, and that's pretty kind of unbelievable. I mean, if you think about that in perspective of the Apollo missions, when NASA was created, the point of time when NASA was created to the first time we landed humans on the moon was just under 11 years. So we've been at this for twice as long as having to invent everything. And, we're only now getting the first astronauts in the program into space.
Leroy, it's been so good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. I'm sure you'll be very closely watching, as we all will be. Leroy Chiao, former Space Station Commander, thank you.